Alright guys, it's Ben2595 here, and I've got a lot that I want to talk about in this video. To be honest, I don't even think the gameplay is long enough for what it is that I've got in store for you guys. If that's the case, then no worries, I'll just throw a few bonus clips on at the end if you're that loyal and you watch it to the very end. Yeah, and for that very reason that I'm not going to discuss anything about the gameplay. It's pretty self-explanatory if you just watch the video. So, without further delay, I'll just get right on it. Now, I'm sure you're all well aware that Infinity Ward is the American video game developer that has developed the 5 installments in the Call of Duty franchise, namely Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and of course the most recent Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which had received the additional development from the American video game developers Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software. And this was due to a legal dispute between the game's publisher Activision and the former co-executives of Infinity Ward at the time, which were Jason West and Vince Zampella. And this basically resulted in a number of layoffs and resignations from within the Infinity Ward camp. So where does Activision come into all this? Well, it's important to make clear that Infinity Ward is a subsidiary of Activision. Now, for those of you that don't know what a subsidiary company is, it's a company which is completely or partly owned and wholly controlled by another company that owns more than half of the subsidiary company's stock. The controlling entity is called its parent company or holding company, and in this case, Activision Blizzard Inc. is the American holding company for Activision and Blizzard Entertainment, but for our purposes we're going to be focusing on Activision, which is a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard, since they're the ones responsible for the Call of Duty series. Now, the key point that I want you to take from this is this notion of the word control. You should ask yourself, how much control does Activision have over Infinity Ward, and how much sway does Infinity Ward have over Activision? And the reason being is because this is going to be a central underlining theme for what I want to say in this video and what I ultimately go on to conclude at the end. So I want to move on to Robert Bowling, who until recently, or relatively recently, had been the creative strategist for Infinity Ward, which is a position basically entailing listening to the community feedback and, I assume, making our views heard so that the relevant changes and improvements could be made to the game. But on the 26th of March 2012, Robert Bowling tweeted that, and I quote, "I resign from my position as creative strategist of Call of Duty, as lead of Infinity Ward, and as an employee of Activision." But this had me wondering, why would someone in his position with the success and popularity that he had, and still has for that matter, choose to resign for what many would regard as a dream job? Well, here's the thing. Even to this day, I expect he receives all kind of negative messages, ranging from death threats to offensive remarks against his family. So my initial thought was perhaps he just had enough and just couldn't take any more criticism of this sort of nature. But when I thought about it properly and did some research surrounding the matter, or at least of what sources were available, I noticed that it could potentially go deeper than this, so this is what I found out. During Machinima's livestream on the third content drop for Modern Warfare 3 on the 21st of February, Robert Bowling was asked about the idea of bringing back classic maps, and the following was his response. "I do like it, but here's my philosophy on throwback maps. Old school maps, I love maps like that. I want to see Creek, I want to see Overgrown, I want to see Crossfire, I want to see High Rise. So my mentality on it is, if you're going to do throwback maps, if you're going to do classic maps, keep it outside the DLC model. Like for DLC, if you're paying for stuff and it's included in your subscription, it should be all new content. Give me something new I've never seen before, and that's not something we've done in the past before we've included in traditional map packs. But now since our DLC model is so different, I feel we have the flexibility to let DLC be focused on all new content, brand new stuff you've never seen before in the game or any game. And if you want to do a throwback map, let it be outside the DLC model. Let it be free, let it be to everyone. Don't let it be restricted by contracts and partnerships and all this fucking money stuff. Let it just be there." So that's what I think. I want to see the new gameplay experience of Modern Warfare 3 in classic maps. He also went on to say that he feels, and quote, "like we are in a fucking era where everyone is so focused on subscriber numbers and all that stuff that we need to get back to what I feel we did so much better in the old days of just playing goodwill, like stuff like the LAN patch. Yeah, it's a lower priority, but let's just get it out the fucking door. Let's just do it." Now, Robert Bowling hasn't made any official statement detailing why he left, but on the 28th of March, when asked on Twitter by a follower why he decided to resign, he did reply, and quote, "You have to work on games that you're passionate about, and at this time my passion has led me in a different direction." So where am I going with all this? Well, this is what has been going through my mind as of late, and that is, who do we blame when we don't see change? I mean, is it the community manager? Is it Robert Bowling? Well, in my opinion, no. I don't think they're the ones we should be pointing the finger at. I think Robert Bowling was in it from the gaming community from the very start. and until the day he resigned. And I get this impression that the vast majority of people think that he had this power to make things happen, when in reality, in that position, he's nothing more than a poster boy in some ways, or a scapegoat put there as a punching bag when things go wrong, and to make us as a community feel involved in this Call of Duty project, you could call it. Honestly, I think it was money driven motives of Activision which forced him to resign, but that's my opinion. Do I hate the guy? No, I don't hate the guy. Hate is a strong word which gets thrown around too loosely. Do I think he did a good job? Well, I think he did as good a job as anyone could have done in that restrictive position, and I do truly wish the guy the best of luck in whatever he does in the future. And in fact, given his wealth of knowledge, contacts and expertise in the field, you'd pretty much be a fool not to snatch him up. Now, yeah, the thing is, guys, you got to remember, you're never going to create a game which everyone likes, and this is especially apparent for a gaming franchise such as Call of Duty, which has had the incredible success it's achieved already, seeing as the game's aim to satisfy an audience of millions. And like I said, the saying goes, you can't please everyone. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that if Call of Duty didn't have the flaws it has, it wouldn't be as big a hit on YouTube as it is right now. And you're probably wondering why I've said that, but yeah, there are channels dedicated to tips and tricks and others based more on personal stories, but the majority of this community's content comprises bitching and rant videos about the game. And I can't help but think that they're continuing to incorporate certain features in their games, such as death streaks, as some sort of marketing tactic to keep us bitching and subsequently keeping the game fresh for YouTube. I mean, let's face it, they're gaining free advertisement by allowing us to post gameplay from their games on YouTube as it is. So what they need to do is to give us something to keep talking about for the entire year whilst they work on the next sort of broken game in the franchise. So, I mean, like, take a look at games such as Halo or Battlefield, for instance. These games have much greater community support, and generally you could argue are a better finalised product, and yet they failed to receive anywhere near the same views as Call of Duty gets. I mean, we still play Call of Duty even though we know the community support is poor, and yet we still buy the games every year knowing full well that there'll be something in the next title which will be broken or exploited to the degree that it makes the game frustrating to play. And I refuse to believe that there is someone who works for Call of Duty that wholeheartedly, honestly believes that the inclusion of death streaks, amongst other flaws clearly evident in the game, I'm not just picking on death streaks, is a good thing. No one can be that delusional, surely. Surely they're being told from a greater authority that they have to incorporate bitch features such as that into the game. Let's not forget, guys, game developers are gamers too. They know what's good and bad in a game and about a game. The problem is, I don't think that is the developers or Road Bowling or even any community manager for that matter, is allowed free range over what they can do with their game. And you're probably wondering why, and I think it's down to business. After all, if a game is too difficult, then more than likely it doesn't sell. I mean, why do people always refer to Call of Duty as a noob shooter or a noob friendly FPS? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? It just is. And with each game that Infinity Ward produced, they seem to be intentionally appealing to a lower skilled player. And you might ask why. Well, I think it's Activision's way of gaining more money. I mean, if you want a real challenge, try playing something like Counter-Strike, for example. Now, that is a hardcore game for any FPS fan, and one that requires a lot of skill, but it just doesn't sell anywhere near as much as Call of Duty does. And it's just, the gaming community is all about money at the end of it all, and they're the ones that call the shots and run the show. They aren't the hardcore gamers really for the gaming experience like we do, like adrenaline rush when you're stomping on gimps and whopping ass. But no, that all they care about is money, and when given the opportunity to capitalise on something, you're damn right they're going to bite your hand off and slap a price tag on that bitch. I mean, free doesn't even exist in their vocabulary, guys. And I think that Road Bowling foresaw the direction that Infinity Ward and Activision were heading with the Call of Duty franchise, and quite frankly just decided to abandon shit before the shit hit the fan. I mean, in my opinion, the ship is sinking, people. It just is. The Call of Duty franchise is on its last legs, and now more so than ever is a Call of Duty under threat and vulnerable to be knocked off its plinth as leader and king of the FPS genre. And the sooner Activision realise that without us, that is the fans, or should I say, the paying customers, that's it, put it in a language they understand, will they cease to remain the force they are today? So that's my opinion of it all, guys. I hope you enjoyed the commentary, guys, and if you did, I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button, and if it made you orgasm, you never know, then be sure to favourite the video because it really helps me out and get my channel noticed. If you want to see more of me and my content, then be sure to subscribe. yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.